I hope all is well. So today I felt like talking about some deeply personal and profoundly transformations like self-reflection. Not the kind that feels like self-criticism or overthinking, but the kind that brings you back home to yourself, spiritually, emotionally, and energetically. A time to listen inward and to rediscover the parts of you that have been waiting patiently to be acknowledged. So let's settle in, soften your breath, and let's journey inward together. Yay! I just wanted to talk about self-reflection because people need to go inward. It's one of the most powerful spiritual tools that we have. Yet it's often the only one that we avoid the most. Not because we don't want to grow, but because looking inward requires honesty, vulnerability, and stillness. The three things that can feel uncomfortable when life has taught us to stay busy, stay distracted, or stay in survival mode. The truth is, your spirit is always speaking. Your inner world is always communicating. The question is, are you giving yourself the space to hear it? When we slow down long enough to reflect, we begin to notice the subtle signs our spirit has been sending us. The tightness in the chest. It shows up when we're out of alignment. That heaviness in your stomach when you're ignoring your intuition. The exhaustion that comes from carrying emotions that we haven't processed. Self-reflection is not about fixing yourself. It's about understanding yourself. It's about recognizing where your energy is flowing and where it's beginning or where it's being drained. One of the most important aspects of self-reflection is learning to sit with your emotions without labeling them good or bad. See, emotions are messengers. They rise to the surface to show you what needs attention, what needs healing, and what needs to be released. When you allow yourself to feel without judgment, you create space for clarity. You create space for truth. You create space for transformation. Now, spiritually, self-reflection is a form of alignment. It brings your mind, body, and spirit back into conversation with one another. When you reflect, you reconnect with your intuition, that quiet inner voice that always knows the way, even when your mind's confused. Intuition doesn't shout, it whispers. Self-reflection is how you learn to hear those whispers again. Now, energetically, self-reflection helps you identify what you've been carrying that doesn't belong to you. Sometimes we hold on to other people's expectations, other people's emotions, or projections without even realizing it. We absorb energy from our environment, from relationships, from past experiences over time. This buildup can cloud your inner clarity. See, reflection acts like a spiritual cleansing. It helps you sort through what is yours and what you need to release. Self-reflection also invites you to look at your patterns, not with shame, but with compassion. Every pattern has a story. Every reaction has a root, and every fear has an origin. When you reflect with gentleness, you begin to understand why you do what you do. You begin to see the younger version of yourself who learned those patterns as a way to survive, but to cope or to feel safe. And when you see that healing becomes possible, you stop fighting yourself and start supporting yourself. Another powerful part of self-reflection is acknowledging your growth. We also focus on so much on what needs improvement, we forget to honor how far we've come. Reflection allows you to recognize your resilience, recognize your progress, your strength. It reminds you that even your hardest moments, you kept going. You kept learning. You kept evolving. Your spirit has carried you through every chapter, even the ones that you thought would break you spiritually. Self-reflection deepens your connection to your higher self. The part of you that sees beyond your fear, beyond an ego, and beyond limitation. When you reflect, you step into a higher level of awareness. You begin to see your life not as a series of random events, but as a journey of growth, lessons, and awakening. You begin to understand that every experience, even the painful ones, have shaped you into who you are today. Self-reflection also teaches you presence. It brings you back to now, like today. The only place where healing truly happens, when you reflect, you step out of that autopilot mode. Step out of those old stories, out of the old noise of the world, and you return to yourself. You return to your breath. You return to your truth. And perhaps the most beautiful part of self-reflection is that you reconnect to your inner peace. Not the peace that comes from everything being perfect, but the peace that comes from knowing yourself deeply. When you understand your emotions, your needs, and your boundaries, your desires, life becomes clearer, decisions become easier, relationships become healthier, and your spirit feels grounded, supported, and seen. Self-reflection is not of a one-time event, it's a practice, it's a ritual, it's a way of living. It's choosing to check in with yourself regularly. It's choosing to honor your inner world as much as your outer responsibilities. It's choosing to make space for your spirit to speak. And the truth is, you deserve that space. Yeah. You deserve to know yourself. You deserve to understand your heart. You deserve to feel connected to your own soul. All right. So as I wrap this up, I want to leave you with this gentle reminder. Self-reflection is not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about meeting yourself where you are with honesty and compassion. Your inner world is rich, wise, and full of guidance when you take the time to listen. You reconnect with the deepest parts of you and who you are. Thanks for listening. This sacred moment with me. Until next time, you guys, breathe deeply, honor your truth, and continue your journey of healing. Hey, let's get it.